Have you ever been in a slump like Ted here? If you've ever thought that your life sucked, well, try telling that to these guys. Each of them starred in their own personal nightmare. Take Eddie, for example. You may know him from Oedipus the King, a classic Greek tragedy. This guy's life sucked for one main reason: the gods were bored. More specifically, Apollo, the god of prophecy. Oedipus lived his life desperately trying to escape his fate of killing his dad and marrying his mom. Spoiler alert, he ended up doing it after all. As a result, his wife/mom, his wom, killed herself, and Oedipus gouged out his eyes and exiled himself, as one does. If that's not enough for you, let's check out the American side of tragedy featuring Willy Loman from The Death of a Salesman. This guy had a very fatal flaw, a hamartia, if you will. He chased the American dream so obsessively that he never saw the good things in his life. He drove himself crazy, reliving all his bad memories, missed opportunities, and all the mistakes and misfortunes in his life that led him to where he ended up. In the end, he committed suicide, convinced that it was the only way he could be of use to his family. And there's one more guy with some experience in tragic events. You may know him as Hamlet from, Hamlet, a good old Shakespearean tragedy. Hamlet had some major family problems. First, his dad died, then his mom married his uncle. It was too much, too fast for him to handle, not to mention the fact that his new dunkle was supposedly his dad's murderer. Needless to say, he was feeling a lot of unpleasant emotions. Many say that his fatal flaw was his inability to act, his indecisiveness. You know when you can't figure out what to wear some days? Well, Hamlet couldn't figure out if he should kill himself or not, or if he should kill his dunkle or not. So basically the same thing. Well, in the end, everyone dies, so ultimately Hamlet's desire for vengeance corrupts him in such a way that he and everyone around him ends up dying. He only makes up his mind and kills his dunkle once he himself is already dying. So obviously these sad, awful stories I just told you have cheered you up by now, but let me expand some more anyway. What's the point of these stories? There's something you're supposed to learn here, trust me. Well, although these pieces of literature all come from drastically different cultures, they have a lot in common. The point of all these tragedies is to see the main character come to terms with his wrongdoings and accept responsibility. Tragedies teach us to reevaluate our actions and right our wrongs. They give us a reason to be constantly looking for ways to improve ourselves. They teach us not to take life for granted, and they teach us that life is unpredictable and we must do the best we can with what we have. Some tragedies make us uncomfortable because they show us the terrible consequences of our actions. But let's face it, fear is a great educational tool. It gets the message across at least. So learn from these guys and don't make their mistakes. Good luck and thanks for watching.